This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel Strat-O-Matic Baseball Excel Game of the Week.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the playoffs. 1979-82 Fall League. We got a wild card game. You remember those? Something Major League Baseball invented. You play 162 games, and then you got one more to determine your fate in the postseason. And then, of course, they stopped doing that recently. But I decided I would follow Major League Baseball's foibles, and I would do a one-game wild card. And this is the number 6 Baltimore play-in game victors over Oakland against number 3 Milwaukee. Both teams struggled at the end. Baltimore looked like they were going to win their division. Milwaukee looked like not only were they going to win the division, but they would get a bye, none of which happened. Milwaukee finds themselves, unfortunately, in the wild card round, and Baltimore is very fortunate to get to the wild card round. Round meaning single game. This is it. One game here, and you lose, you're gone. That's what we're doing. Moreover, based on the availability of how the latter part of the season ended, you don't have the aces available today. Mike Flanagan pitched 2 days ago, and Caldwell did the same, and Palmer pitched in the play-in game. So you got Baltimore sending Dennis Martinez, their number 4 starter, out in the wild card game, folks. So Baltimore could very well unload their bullpen today. And Moose Haas for the Milwaukee Brewers. I didn't give you their stats, but I'll do it now. Martinez, 14-5, 3.32 ERA in 1981. Probably his best year in Baltimore. And Mr. Moose Haas was, with 1980, he was 16-15, 3.11 ERA in 252 innings. Martinez, Haas, both starter 7s, one-game playoff, expecting a lot of fireworks in Milwaukee. And by the way, Milwaukee Brewers, you've never gotten past Baltimore thus far, and in the end of this decade and in the beginning of the next. So this is it. This is your chance to finally break through Baltimore and get past them. They actually do that at the end of the 1982 season in the final 162nd game. They did beat Baltimore. Robin Yount had a big game as the MVP, knocking out Jim Palmer in that. And now they're trying to do it again. Different, obviously different scenario and different pitchers. Dennis Martinez. Moose Haas from County Stadium in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's get started for Baltimore. It's Al Bumbry. 45 is a strikeout. Rich Dower, 1-9 is a walk. Ken Singleton, 2-4, that is about right. And with 2 outs, it's Eddie, Eat, Drink, and B. Murray, 1-2. Oh my goodness, folks. Strikeout plus an injury to Baltimore's first baseman. Well, that puts a damper on things. And, you know, it's funny, actually. I don't know who else can play first base for this squad. Actually, according to the cards, no one. But, well, we'll put Joe Nolan. I can always usually put catchers at first base. So Joe Nolan will go from catcher to first base, and we'll put Dempsey behind the plate. And that's a big deal, suddenly, as Baltimore has a gigantic hole at first base. Great Gold Glove player, and the cleanup hitter of Baltimore exits. Leading off for the Brewers, it's Paul Molitor. 2-5 is a base hit, double-A stealer, but lo and behold, you began this game thinking Joe Nolan was catching. He ain't. Not anymore. Now you go from a +2 arm of Nolan to a -3 arm of Dempsey. So the injury to Murray changes Molitor's strategy on the bases here. He'll stay at first. And now batting second, Milwaukee's juggled their lineup a little bit after a late season struggle against Kansas City, losing 4 or 5, trying to juggle the offense a little bit. They're going to move Lezcano, normally the number 5 hitter, up to the number 2 spot and see if that is what rejuvenates this Milwaukee team. Sixto-Lezcano. 311 is a fly ball to right. Robin Yount. 1-4 flies to left, and do you try? Yeah, he's going to steal a base off of Dempsey anyway, and it's a 20. Wouldn't matter. He gets thrown out. Well, Cooper was in the box. The 352 batter will just have to wait till the next inning as Mahler gets dusted at second base. Leading off in the second is Pat Kelly. 2-5 center. The Ripken Kid, 65 center. And John Lowenstein, 1-7. Single 1-10, cannot get it. 1-20. Bottom half 2. It's Cooper. 2-10 pitcher. Gorman Thomas elevated from the 8-hole to the 5-hole for those home runs. 48 connects off of Dennis Martinez for double 1-5 single. Ben Oglivie, 33 lines a second, and that is, by the way, if you're wondering, 86 home runs between the 5 and 6 hitters, if you're counting that sort of thing. 41 for Oglivie, 45 for Gorman Thomas. If you want to throw in 25 for Cecil Cooper, you can. If you want to throw in another 29 for Yount, you can. And another 28 for Lezcano, you can. And 19 for Mahler, if you want to do that as well, while we're talking about this sort of thing. Whew, man. And they're a wild card team. They should have won their division. Or they should have won the bye. Charlie Moore. 5'11", right X. Out in right field at Singleton. A 3-E5 in right field. And that's going to be a double. Second and third, 2 outs. Big moment here for Jim Gantner. 4-5 is a bouncer to short, but today it's Belanger at 1-E8 at short. Baltimore loves to put him at shortstop on road games for that reason right there, to end the threat defensively. Well, the Brewers waste a couple base runners. Into the third we go. Here is Joe Nolan. 53, first. Mark Belanger, 59, Ks. And with 2 outs, it's Al Bumbry. 1-5, Bumbry, homer, 1-3, double the rest, a 2-base hit. Runner at second, 2 outs, Rich Dower. 3-6 flies to center field. Bottom half of the third. Sal Bando, 53, left X. Out in left field, you got Lowenstein. He's a 2-E3 in left field. Makes the catch. Paul Molitor, 45, walks. Lezcano, 48, again, hits off of Martinez, double 1-5, base hit, and the Brewers are threatening again. They have runners in the corners, 1 out. Baltimore will bring the infield up for Robin Yount, the guy who knocked the Orioles out of the division back in 1982. The pitch to Robin Yount. 2-6, let's take a look at Robin Yount's MVP card of 1982. 331, one of his 2 MVPs. 29 homers, 46 doubles, 12 triples. Magnificent season for Robin Yount. Could not get a World Series ring, but came damn close in 1982. 2-5 here is a clean single to center. That plates Molitor. Lezcano thinking of going first to third with 1 out. Off of the Bumbry arm in center. He's going to do it on a 16, and he does. So, plate to plate, runner goes to third. You got runners on the corners with 1 out again. They're going to bring it up for Cecil Cooper, because he's actually an A bunter, so you got to bring it up. 1-6, let's take a look at Cecil Cooper's card of 1980. If there wasn't some guy named George Brett hitting 390, Cecil Cooper may have been your 1980 American League most valuable player with a 352 average and 25 homers for these Brewers. 1-6, homer 1-12. It is gone, and just like that, these Brewers, they're quick killers. Their prey does not suffer much. They attack quickly and relentlessly, and 4 straight batters and 4 straight runs here in the third. Gorman Thomas, 46, single 1-9, he gets it. Ben Oglivie, 310 Ks, and with 2 outs, Charlie Moore, 46, been rolling out that a lot, single 1-9, but this time it's a line out. Martinez survives. Standing 8 count, but he survives the third inning. 4-0. Now it's up to Moose Haas to pitch his Brewers into the divisional round. Also, if Baltimore wins this game as a 6, they would play the number 1 Expos. If Milwaukee wins as a 3, they would play the California Angels, the team they played and beat in 1982 to get to the World Series. Top of the fourth, it's Kenny Singleton. 37 is a walk. The new number 4 hitter, Rick Dempsey. 1-4 is a pop to short. The Reverend Pat Kelly. 2-5 center, and with 2 outs, it's Ripken. 38, single 1-2, lines out. 4 decent innings. Very good innings. For Moose Haas. Bottom of the fourth, it's Jim Gantner. 4-11, left X. Lowenstein's a 2-3 in left field, but he cannot get this one. Took a bad angle off the 2-3 left fielder, and that's a 2-base hit. Something Baltimore did not need. They didn't need this headache. You got Sal Bando. He'll swing away. Martinez seems to be on the ropes. We want to knock this guy out. 57 is a sky to center. Back up top to Mr. Molitor, having a nice day with a hit and a walk. 64, center B. So they didn't bunt him over to third, and they didn't get the sac fly. And it stays 4-0 with a runner at second and 2 outs. For 6 to Lezcano. 1-9 bounces to short. Martinez battles back into the fifth. It'll be John Lowenstein. 53, first. Joe Nolan, 49, second. And with 2 outs, Belanger, 2-3. Bouncer to short. Moose Haas is your story today. He has got a 1-hitter through 5. Bottom of the fifth. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay. Bottom of the fifth. It'll be Robin Yount leading it off. 2-8 bounces to third. Cecil Cooper with a big 3-run homer. I don't know why I had to put 4 there. That's weird. 2-3 for Cooper is a liner to second. And with 2 outs, it's Gorman Thomas. 37 is a walk. Ben Ogilvy. 68 is another walk. And now you got Charlie Moore, 2 on, 2 outs. 59 bounces to second. The reason why Baltimore may want to run with Dennis Martinez a little bit is that these Brewers crush lefties. So they would not be a good matchup for Mike Flanagan, nor Scott McGregor, and Jim Palmer pitched yesterday. So Martinez is really the best you're going to get against this incredible Milwaukee lineup. They do have 3 righties they can continue with if they want to pause on Tippy Martinez as well. As we go to the 6th inning of a 4-0 game, it's a moot point if Moose Haas continues to deliver the goods the way he has. It's Al Bunbury. He has the only hit today for Baltimore. And he's got another one. 1-8 is a base hit for Bunbury. Down 4, he's not going to take off. And you got Rich Dower. 33 pops to second. See, a lot of times you get down by 4 runs and you don't hit and run, you don't steal, and you get kind of stagnant, which Baltimore couldn't fall into. Ken Singleton. 5'11", short X. This is Yellow 1. Shortstop should be double play, and it is. Oh my goodness. Moose Haas with a 4-0 shutout. Bottom of the 6th. Charlie Moore. Made the final out. Jim Gantner. 69 is a walk. Number 9 hitter Bando. 1-6 is another walk. And now you got to start thinking about maybe a different right-handed pitcher for the Orioles. They are going to do it. They're going to pull Dennis Martinez, as he's put multiple men on in multiple innings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 men in 5 and 2 batters. They're going to go slamming Sammy Stewart again. Stewart, 1981 American League ERA leader, 232. Or tied with McCaddy for that. Comes on in the 6th with 2 on, a couple guys on the bases, nobody out. And he'll face Paul Molitor. 37 for Molitor is a K. Lezcano. 58 lines at first. And with 2 outs, it's Yount. 2-5. Grounds are short. Nice little pick-me-up by Sam Stewart, keeping this a game. 4-0 Baltimore, but they're running out of time here against Moose Haas, who's been brilliant today in a 4-0 game. Top of the 7th, and unfortunately, it isn't the cleanup hitter Eddie Murray. He left early with a injured such and such. Rick Dempsey's at the plate. 110 for Dempsey, flies to left. Pat Kelly. 58 is a base hit. Cal Ripken. 2-8 is a K, and with 2 outs, it's John Lowenstein. 1-8 is a walk. Big at-bat here. Haas is a starter 7. And they have Joe Nolan up here. He's throwing a shutout, and Mark Belander's on deck. I mean, I think you got to pitch to him here. 2 on, 2 outs. The pitch to Joe Nolan. 45 is a strikeout on a point of weakness, but he didn't get it. It's only 2 in this inning. He needed to get a third guy on prior to that, and that would have been successful, but not Baltimore's day thus far. Stretch time in Milwaukee. We are enjoying Big Star. This is a compilation of Big Star. Keep an eye on the sky. Everything you wanted to know plus more. Demos, remasters, early versions, alternate mixes, demos, live stuff, and just other crap and stuff like that. And it's, man, it's like 5 hours of Big Star. I don't know what you'd be doing listening to 5 hours of Big Star. Eventually, I mean, you know. But let's throw this one down. This is the reason why we put these with the Brewers. There you go, because of the 70s show was in Wisconsin, I guess. Bottom of the 7th here in Milwaukee. Donna Pinciotti cheering her Brewers on. It'll be Cecil Cooper leading off. 55's a walk. Gorman Thomas, 3-6 a K. Ogilvy, 2-4, a 6-4-3 double play. And there goes the rally. Cheat the idea, folks. 6-4-3 double play. We'll go to the 8th inning. Moose Haas still throwing a 4-0 shutout. The Brewers defensively, nothing else to add to what they have. Baltimore has Belanger leading off. Pretty much don't need his glove at this point. Down 4 runs with 6 outs to go in your season. So they're going to pinch hit Len Sakata for him. And here's the pitch to pinch hitter Len Sakata. 4-4, he lines the second. Back up top to Al Bunbury, who has 2 hits today. And a third one. Double 1 to 6, double. Well, they should ask Bunbury what to do against Haas, because he's the only one who has a clue here. He's got 3 of the 4 hits. He's on second. 1 more base runner, and Haas hits the point of weakness. Kind of a mediocre bullpen, so they're going to keep Haas in there as long as he can go, as he's been outstanding. They won't let him lose, of course. Runner at second, 1 out for Rich Dower. 1-8, and Dower walks, and I think that is the curtain call we were looking for. That'll do it. So 7 in the 3rd, and listen to these fans going nuts here. He's throwing a shutout, but he hits his point of weakness in the 8th. And Baltimore's only within a grand slam here, and they're the big bad Orioles with plenty of postseason experience. So Moose Haas leaves this game with a 4-hit shutout with 2 men on base in the 8th inning. They're going to count on Bob McClure, Tom Hume, Larry Anderson, and Bill Travers to somehow finish this thing out. McClure comes on in the 8th. With the Brewers in 1980, Bob was 5-8 with a 3.07 ERA in 91 innings. Really had a nice decade in the 1980s. By the end of the decade, I think he was pitching for California. Had a great year with them. So here he comes on in the 8th inning with 2 runners on and 1 out to face Baltimore's number 3 hitter, Ken Singleton. Here's the pitch. 57 is a pop to first, and with 2 outs, it'll be Rick Dempsey for the injured Eddie Murray for the 3rd time. Here's the pitch to Dempsey. 1-5 is a walk. And your bases are loaded with 2 outs. And you have Pat Kelly against the lefty. And unfortunately, the Orioles are in a quandary here, as all they have left on the bench is Benny Ayala. The moment you were to announce him as a pinch hitter, the Brewers would turn to a couple different right-handers, Anderson or Hume, and Mr. Ayala does not have a hit on his card against righties. So Pat Kelly, let's take a look at the Kelly card here. He will actually bat. Only 7% against lefties, but they were fortuitous in that they put a bunch of walks on his card. So he really does get on base reasonably well against lefties. And this Baltimore team needs to get on base. They're down 4. So a bases loaded walk would still be good for this team. So Pat Kelly, he will swing away against Bob McClure. Bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 8th. Here's the pitch to Pat Kelly. 4-4 off McClure is second X. This is Jim Gantner, a 2 second baseman. E16. And he makes the play, Jim Gantner. Great defensive play there. And Baltimore strands their 5th runners in the last 2 frames. It is not the Orioles' day. We could be seeing a change of the guard in the American League in this era. Bottom of the 8th. Funny part about it is, after Milwaukee lost the World Series in 1982, well, Baltimore won one in 1983, so maybe changing of the guard isn't really a fair assessment here. Stewart leaves after 2 very good innings, and just a walk in 2 frames. And in the 8th inning, you're safe to go with Tippy Martinez to these guys. This is probably the only part of the Brewer lineup you can get away with a lefty. Tippy Martinez will come on in the 8th. 10-3, 288 ERA in 78 innings to face more Gantner and Bando, and possibly Molitor. But if it gets to Lezcano beyond, that's when you have to go back to a righty. So, bottom of the 8th, it is Charlie Moore leading off against Martinez. 54, center. Jim Gantner made a nice defensive play at the end of the 8th inning. 2-11 pops out. And Sal Bando, 48, is a pop out. 3 up and 3 down. And really, the big 4th inning here is all we have on the board today. As we go to the 9th, and Bob McClure is a relief 3, no chance of the point of weakness to the 9th. He will face Ripken and then Lowenstein and Nolan. Oh boy, this team is really, Orioles are really in trouble because of this Eddie Murray injury. And that Joe Nolan can't hit left-handed pitching either. So McClure almost certainly pitched through to Joe Nolan with a 4-run lead in the 9th. Leading off here is Cal Ripken. 68 for Ripken is walk, just what Baltimore needed. Now you got John Lowenstein. 49 bounces to second. Well, now you got a runner at second, but you got Joe Nolan. I mean, if you want to force the issue and go to the pinch hitter so they go to a different pitcher, you could do that. I just don't know what you expect Ayala to do against a right-handed pitcher. Nolan is better against lefties than Ayala is against righties, so still no call to the bench for Ayala. It will be Joe Nolan with a runner at second and 1 out. Here's the pitch to Joe. 6-10 off McClure is second X, and here's Jim Gantner again, and he makes the play. It's already set up for him from last inning. And Baltimore's season is now in the hands of Len Cicada. You got a runner at third, 2 outs. This Oriole team scored 10 runs yesterday on 15 hits, and they're right back into that hitting slump that they've been suffering for a few years in the wild card game. They need a miracle here. It's Len Cicada with a runner at third and 2 outs, and here's the pitch. 2-6 for Cicada is a bouncer to short, and that will do it. The big bad Harvey Wallbangers, known for their incredible offense. Today, they had a so-so offense, but it was the pitching of Moose Haas and Bob McClure, a 4-0 shutout of the Orioles. And for the first time in 3 years, the Orioles do not advance to the divisional round of the playoffs. This was their earliest exit for them. McClure gets the save, inning and 2/3. He gives up just 2 walks. Haas was outstanding today. 4 hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Got the shutout in concert with Mr. McClure. Tippy Martinez, 3 up and 3 down. Good relief pitching for Baltimore. Sam Stewart, a walk and 2 Ks. Tough day for Dennis Martinez. He does take the loss. 8 hits and 4 runs. The Brewers just strung together a bunch of hits in this 1 inning. You take this 1 inning away, and we're still playing. It all happened there with those 4 runs, and then nothing otherwise. There it is. 1019-0108, 4804, 4804, 6563, and that is it. 6301, Baltimore at Milwaukee. And Baltimore was able to prolong their series with the play-in game, but then immediately lost the one after that. Baltimore's done. Should be 4 over 500. Let's start with the Brewers, though. They improved to 17-11, 282, 346. Moose Haas, by the way, is 5-1, while the A's, Mike Caldwell's 2-4. That was Bob McClure's first save, believe it or not. He's really been setting up Tom Hume, who has 7 saves and is the save guy on this team. The Brewer home runs, no one in double digits, but a bunch of guys with 6 or 7. 17-11. Baltimore finishes 19-15. They finished hitting 236 with a 2.70 ERA. That is a shame, but when we go to the results here after the wild card game. Dennis Martinez loses, setting up the pitching for the divisional round. The Orioles are done, and the Brewers. Mike Caldwell can come back on 3 days rest and pitch game 1. Vukovic in game 2, and then Haas can also come back on 3 days rest for game 3. Jim Slayton in game 4, and Caldwell again in game 5. They will visit the California Angels. So that should be a lot of fun, a lot of offense. The Brewers and the Angels, 2 of the best offenses in the American League. And there you go. Break up your Milwaukee Brewers. You got past Baltimore for the first time in the carryover league and for as long as I can remember. Thanks for checking this out, folks. We'll see you next time.